Okay, let's do this. Hi guys, welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. And it's the investigation episode for Chapter 4. Whew. It's been a couple days since I recorded the last episode. Fell out of that want to record because I wanted to play some Overwatch and such. And now the Overwatch winter event should have ended, but it hasn't, but that's a thing for another time. Anyway, let's just get right into investigation. I'd better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There is evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point, the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Oh no. Okay. I think the case this time might be a challenge. Why is that? The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with the chair inside the rec room. Which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside and there was no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right? Haha, that's a game. Zero escape. Zero's last reward. No, Virtue's last reward. I'm an idiot. Haha. In other words, this is a classic locked room murder. Locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever. But could it really happen in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
Hey.
Are you curious to hear more about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't mind. When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits his crime, then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or a simple mechanism. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right? The second type is when the locked room already exists before the crime is committed. Oh?
In other words,
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch, and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door, something like that.
however,
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we can probably cross that one off the list.
it's true.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean by that?
In other words,
They stay hidden, and when the door is opened, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. That sounds like it could have been possible. Maybe.
it's true.
And the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Not a locked
In
room?
other words,
By that I mean there actually is an alternate escape route somewhere within the room. You see, this is a lot in novels and things, but in reality it's generally not possible. Then you think we can cross that one off too?
indeed.
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mysteries, those are the basics. There are 4 possibilities. Then, Kirigiri, which of those 4 choices seems the most likely in this case?
It's true.
That's a good question. Answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see. The way the killer set up the locked room, until I figure that out, the truth behind Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. Also, I have a stuffy nose, so you're probably hearing voices different as, like, damn. Who do we want to talk to first? So there's obviously the smashed glasses, that lock with handprints, blood. Anything else in this room? Oh, this over here. Protein shake. But let's talk to the peoples first. What do you want? You're bothering me. Go away. He's not even trying to hide how much he despises me. Better go before it crushes my soul completely.
What the heck?
We already know who did it. Byakuya, Fukawa, or Hagakure. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, Don't you, Mikado? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all three of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she said she'd left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her here in the rec room by noon. By noon, the Monokuma said she died right around then. I'm telling you the truth. I heard it right from Sakura herself. And I tried to stop her. But she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. This is what happened. If I'd stopped her, by force even, this never would have happened. Asahina. Oh. It's impossible not to have regrets, I know. Asahina's account has been added to the truth bullets. But the fact that she had asked those three to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, at the same time and place she ended up dying, it might be good to confirm what I just heard with the three of them directly. Okay. What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true. I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said, and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura all today at all. Tagami says he didn't go see her? Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as a fact.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my sight. Okay, thanks.
However,
But for Sakura to have been killed... Yeah, she's not the type who would go down without a fight.
it's true.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial... She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
Certainly. They would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her. Okay. Routine! There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room.
So,
It looks like... I can't stop yawning. Help me. A protein drink. And it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein. And she mentioned more than once how protein was good for all sorts of ailments. I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can. It's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem Lab had all kinds of health stuff. So she must have gotten this from the Chem Lab.
just a second.
But that's strange. Huh? What is?
Hey,
You see what's scattered around the can? Shards of light blue gloss. They must be parts of the window I broke to get inside. But they aren't just scattered around the can. They're also underneath it. Why does that matter?
so...
I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. I mean, yeah. So, that couldn't have been here from the start. Because otherwise the glass would be around it, or on some weird happening on it. But that's weird because it's round. So it would be on the side. It wouldn't be able to be under it. So that obviously happened after we broke in. An important clue? I'm not sure I see how. There's a blood stain in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from where she died? There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and these are the top and bottom sections of a bottle, right? This must have originally been a bottle. Huh? There's something else on the ground near the glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hand. It's a Monokuma figure. Ugh, of course, narcissistic bear. Which obviously came from up here. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is, how'd they get those figures inside the bottles?
So...
It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle. Huh? You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the boat placed inside? You've never seen that? Oh yeah, maybe I have.
In other words...
So this is the Monokuma version of that. Monokuma bottle, if you will. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things, little by little. The Monokuma bottle's just sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass which probably started out as a bottle. Which would mean Sakura must have been hit on the head with the Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass and the Monokuma figure are evidence of that. So I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. This looks like some kind of wrapper. Ah, that's... Do you recognize it, Asahina? Well, yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide's show had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So you gave that candy to Sakura. I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we could get into the warehouse, I took the entire box back to my room. I made sure nobody else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much? But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now, they've lost all their flavor. Asahino. Oh, God, my heart. Sakura drew a last breath, sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally I wouldn't have any problem believing that's what killed her, but according to the Monokuma file, she had also vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So what would have caused her to vomit blood? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? Not a chance. Tagami.
That's fine.
However, your eyes have landed on a most interesting location. Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes, most interesting, don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder. The reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to why she died. Huh? The lock is open. And they're on the inside. It's the handprint?
Why?
What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker, and it left a handprint in all the dust.
It's true.
And it looks quite fresh, too. I'd say someone was hiding in the locker, and they'd left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe they could have hidden here until the locked room was opened, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group.
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not?
Hey,
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Oh, it was already open. Right. Oh yeah, and the locker was already open at that point.
indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean? I do believe that that is everything in this area. Yes, no, maybe. Let's go to the chem lab. Oh, no. Apparently there's still something happening. I should be using tab. Oh, chair. The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it.
Hey,
Giddy giddy, help me.
Certainly.
Yeah, we've already gone through that.
Don't make me repeat myself.
Oh, can I examine the actual magazine stand? There's all different kinds of magazines here. No, nothing to do with that. What am I doing? Asahina?
So... Hey. Correct. So...
This door is the only way in or out of the rec room. The door doesn't have a lock, and there's no evidence that the mountings have been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened, of course, when I broke it to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. This kept the door up from turning. And the door from opening. Sorry. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. It just happens whenever I record Danganronpa. Reading ain't my style. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that, so the killer must have created the locked door from the inside, not from the outside.
Listen.
Okay, here we go. Well, Makoto, have you finished with your general investigation? Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
So then...
Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't leave.
Listen to me.
Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. She's decided? She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right. I do have to go and talk to the others. As much as I want to be antisocial and want to just stay inside and indoors in this rec room with Sakura, it ain't happening. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say. Let's leave. Really? Okay. Those other 2 probably went back to their rooms. Okay. Girigiri, Kiyotaka, Kodo, Mondo, Byakuya, Sayaka, Junko, Fukawa, Chihiro, Celeste, Sakura, Asahina, Leon, Hagakure. We'll start with Hagakure. The door's got a lot more sparse on this, from this side. Always nice. I press the doorbell. And after a few seconds...
You know?
What's up, Makoto? Did you need something? Yeah, actually, I just wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you. How'd you know about that?
Could it be?
Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Tagami and Fukawa to come too. What? When did Sakura tell you that? Oh, well, when she asked me to meet with her, of course. But didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note. She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like, in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So then you went and met with Sakura.
Got it all wrong.
No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious.
Actually,
The last time I saw Ogre was when Asahina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office.
don't look at
I
me.
haven't seen her since then. While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you? Do I still have it? Let's see. Hakakure was feeling around in his pockets.
Hey, come
Ah, sorry. Looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets like a letdown. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hagakuri's pocket. Huh? Because the wind, Hagakure snatched it back up again and shoved it back into his pocket.
Hey, come on.
Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Trash?
What?
Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you'll excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hagakure quickly slipped back into his room. Hagakure said that was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Well, clearly, polka dot trash. And candy, you're murderer. Hurts murderer. Done and dusted. He is the killer. Or is he? Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, Fukawa. Of course. Huh? Who's there?
Who's there?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Fukawa. The most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
Well, what do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Gotta say a show.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
Didn't they start it with Genocide Jill, though? In this English dub game? I could have sworn they started with Genocide Jill and went to Genocide Jack for some stupid reason. It's clearly a female killing, so why? I don't understand. She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Obviously annoyed, Fukawa slithered out into the hole.
What do you want?
You said you wanted to talk to me about something? I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Tagami already told me she had asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? Huh? I just said too, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So can you tell me about it? I admit I did get the note. But I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Fukawa claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? I'm doing her voice all wrong. I need to fix that. Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. With that, Fukawa quickly retreated into her room. Okay, so I've heard from Fukawa and Hagakure. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about that protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So where should I start? Clearly we're going to the chem lab, like, clearly. Which is on the second floor, correct? No. Third floor. Fourth floor. There it is. Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. I think what you meant to say was, yes sir, I understand. Right. Gotcha. This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's being spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. Well, before that, the protein can obviously came from A2, so let's see, what's on this shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number, so I guess I consider this part of the shelving unit section A. Huh? But wait, there's one bottle here that's labeled Chem C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? Oh boy. On this shelf is One look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. C9's here as well. Hey, how you doing? These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess I can consider this section C. And then B. So on this shelf it looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They're reagents. Put simply, they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss. Isn't that kind of harsh?
What?
What, you think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world?
That's fine.
The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well. I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. At least that's my friend. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number, so I guess I consider this section B. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here, in which case I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. I should try and find out more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has dietary, Section B has reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A there was a bottle with a label from Section C. What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on here. Chem lab shelf has been added to the truth bullets. These are footprints? And they're only in front of the left shelf. How do these footprints relate to a scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan. By we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen.
What?
Screw you, you douche. Well, let's go. Chop chop. Okay. So I got to work, and before long I'd drawn up a sketch of the room. Wow, Makoto, your drawing is shit. Although your writing is quite neat. Yeah. And somehow you miraculously drew those footprints really well. Oh, what? Sorry, I didn't read that. So how's this? Not bad for you, I mean. For me.
See.
So, when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me.
I see.
Yes. These footprints must be...
It's certainly
Makoto,
possible.
are they yours? No.
What?
Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm the size for myself. I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see, so your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Unfortunately? But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. Then these prints are a really valuable clue. Yeah! Yeah! There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? No duh. Come on, Makoto. Jeez. Stop being stupid. It looks like the bottle had a label on it. Chem C4. Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning, checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then this powder must have been spilled.
In other words,
That's right, it could only have been around the time of the incident. If that really is when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. Okay, what else is there to do? The regular powder itself, okay. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I'd better not leave a footprint. I should probably take a good hard look at that powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle, and footprints. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. And I just got messaged on Discord. According to Tagami, the powder would have to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. Okay. I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look around the rec room. Okay, so we're going back to the rec room now. Let's do this. I am terrible with these directions, I swear. Oh my gosh, Discord, please.
Hey,
So Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kitty what Sakura and Hagakure had told me.
I see.
I see, so along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. It's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Someone's lying.
Anyway.
Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and Monokuma bottles. These 3 things have revealed new clues. You'd do well to look at them over one more time. Okay. Kitty said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. Huh? This magazine is upside down. Did someone put it back that way on accident?
Hey,
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is one of the pages near the center of the magazine. A word has been written in bold, bloody letters. And it said, Toko. Could this be a dying message?
correct.
Then it would appear you found it. Kitty, is this...
So...
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. A dying message.
However,
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that... That says Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it. Then she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet.
I won't forgive you.
It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. I think Kitty said she found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new. Something new. Huh.
Hey,
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all of the bottles. Pay careful attention and you're sure to find it. A correlation. I'm assuming it's that there's a pawn instead of another like in chess. You have the pawns and then you have all the like special movement pieces. Don't know what they're called. Don't really care. They each have their individual names. I would assume that the pawn is the odd one out, so... Hey Kirigiri, can you just tell me what it is?
so...
I don't mind guiding you towards clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusions, so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome. And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer? I do trust you, to a degree. Otherwise I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree?
Hey,
Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment?
anyway...
Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces too. Huh? Are you sure it's okay to mess with the crime scene like that?
That doesn't matter.
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Toyami's not here, so...
So then...
Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass. With that, Kitty left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but what choice do I have? I'd better just do it. It's Kitty. She knows what she's doing. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work, collecting all the broken bottle pieces. I was gonna glue the bottle back together. Just as I finished up, Sorry to keep you waiting.
So then,
Is everything ready? Then let's get to work. So, what kind of experiment are we doing?
in other words,
I got a scale from the chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weights. Compare the weights of what? The pieces of glass you collected and one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact. Why do you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done.
listen.
First, let's compare the weight of the two normal Monokuma bottles. It's
In
balanced,
other words,
which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same. Which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the weight.
so then,
Now here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now, what might we expect to see? Well, a normal assumption would be either way they'll balance out, or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here and there.
so then,
Okay, then let's give it a try. Heavier. Huh? The broken pieces are heavier. Come to think of it, it might be just because it's outside of the bottle, but that horse looks very bright. Like it may have been made by someone else? I don't know. Actually, I do know the result of this trial. I know the result of every trial. I've seen the anime. But I'm not gonna lead anyone on. How's that possible?
I knew it.
Just as I thought. What?
In other words,
The result of our experiment, and the correlation between each of the bottles? Put it all together, and I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So, what do you think? It's all on you. Who knows? It was the body, right? Yep.
just a second.
Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out. Well, yeah, I know, but
Hey,
don't you think you might need to actually examine the body?
whew.
There's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kitty Kitty didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although there are still some times... I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
It's true.
That's totally normal. Then, how can you...
So,
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What? Sorry, never mind.
hey,
More importantly, look here. Her shoes?
correct.
You see that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out.
I see.
That powder is clue number 1.
Hey,
Next is the wound to her head. Look
It's
carefully.
true.
Actually, even telling you that it's incredibly difficult to spot. So let me just
it would
explain.
seem...
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows?
Indeed.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing.
Correct.
Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
It's true.
So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kitty Kitty could have pulled that off. And here we go, reaching the end of this episode because the trial is the next episode. Buddy.
Whoops, you caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring I couldn't stay awake. Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I? Okay, then let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
It's already time, but the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. Okay, thank you all so much for watching this episode of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. In the next episode, we'll go straight into the trial, we're gonna find out who killed Sakura, and we're gonna have a grand old time. Forewarning, the next episode will actually not be completely One Piece. So in the next trial, just a little warning, there is a choice that will be made that affects the story to some degree. We'll be going through the... I mean, both options are kind of correct, but we'll be going through the wrong one first. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye!